Well, thank you for that great introduction, Miraculous Girl. Hi guys, welcome to Exploring It All. Today I thought we'd do something a little bit different than we've been doing in the past, or at least a different product. Of course, I'm doing a lot of various knife and tool reviews and subscription boxes and stuff, but we're exploring it all. So, today we're going to take a look at a very rare, in my opinion, multi-tool. Now, it's made by the Byrd brand, which is a subsidiary budget brand from the Spyderco knife company. Now, I'm not a big Spyderco knife person. I don't have a lot of them. And in fact, I think this is everything I have. I may have one more in a collection somewhere. But this particular one here, it's called the Delica. And I got this one in Battle Box. I want to say Mission 18. I know it was the water box. Could be 19, but it was one of those early missions, and it's a great knife. It's one-handed opening, but with the lockback design, I feel like it's two-handed closing. I'm sure you can manipulate this and close it one-handed, but I'd probably cut my finger off doing it. So, but it is a one-handed opening knife. This particular one, it's a VG10 steel. I'm not a big steel aficionado, but it's my understanding the Byrd brand, the steel is of a lesser quality than what they use in their mainline brand. So that said, anyway, this is their a Spyderco knife. You can see the Spyder emblem on there. It's got that proprietary, I think it might even be trademarked, little circle there in its opening. Now, this is the Cara 2 from the Byrd brand, and one thing you'll notice, and one thing that's cool on the Spydercos, the pocket clip is, first, it's reversible to either end of the knife, but also either side of the knife. You can move that pocket clip all around. Well, as you'll see with the Byrd brand Cara, it's got the same situation. And in fact, if you look at the general layout of the rivet holes and whatnot, and I wouldn't have noticed this had I watched a video last night from Doc P91 doing a review of the Going Gear box, which I don't get, or bag, or whatever you want to call it. And it's their EDC one. It looks cool. But anyway, and I believe he got a Byrd brand knife in that one. So this is the Cara 2 here, and I ordered this one a few months back. And it has the Comet design is the difference for the Byrd brand, and this one has that pocket grab. You're supposed to be able to pull down on your pocket and open it or something to that effect. Other than that, they generally work the same. It's a lockback. You have the same kind of grip on the back here. It even has the same little grippiness on the scales as well. So I'm sure the scales on the Spyderco are made out of some sort of carbon fiber or something. But the Byrd brand is, and it says right on here, 8CR13 MOV. And I was looking that up, and 8CR13 MOV, it's a Chinese steel that's tempered to Rockwell hardness of 53 to 58. And it's used in the Byrd brand line. They said it's often compared to the AUS 8 steel, which has, according to Wikipedia, it has a slightly higher carbon content in it. So these are the two Spyderco examples that I have for Spyderco style knives. And one thing that we'll revisit is this blade shape as well. As far as the cutting surface, this one's a little different, but on this Spyderco, we'll revisit that. So today, what I was going to look at is this Byrd brand multi-tool. Now, I purchased this back in the early 90s. I saw it advertised in the Air Force Times magazine newspaper that they were selling on the base where I lived. Full disclaimer here right now, I was not in the military. I didn't serve in the military. I did live on the base. I did work for the military. I wasn't in the military myself. I'm law enforcement now, but I never was in the military. Thank you to those that do serve in the military. I just don't want anyone to think I'm claiming to be ex-military or something, because I'm not. I just did some work for the military, and we'll just leave it at that. So the Byrd brand multi-tool. Saw it advertised in the Air Force Times, and I just had to have it. So I've had this for quite some time. Now, the pocket clip or the snap on this kind of sticks a little bit, and I've had the button come out. I've had to fix that a couple times. But this is a really unique multi-tool. And it's discontinued. It is not widely available. It's actually kind of hard to find. I saw two of them on eBay. One had a buy it now price of $390 and bidding was starting at $300. The other one had bidding starting at $100, and I think I checked in the past and found these sell for around what I was saying, around $300 to $400 for whatever reason. When I purchased this new back in the 90s, I want to say it was like $89, which was a lot of money to me back then, and it still is. But anyway, so here it is. Let's take a look at this particular multi-tool. Now, first thing you'll notice is it does have that comet shape of the Byrd brand in this rivet hole, I guess you would call it. You can see the comet shape has the comet shape right there. So there is that comet shape in there, in that rivet hole. So I don't know what all of this steel is, but we'll look at it. So you also have the comet shape on this, which is the knife blade, which we'll take a look at first. Now, there's your knife blade. It says Byrd, and there is your 8CR13 MOV right there on the tang. I don't know if you guys can read that, but that's what it says. Now, this part, probably should have done this before I opened it, does come apart. It is a locked back design. And the one thing I wanted to compare is the shape of these blades right here. The curvature of the blade and stuff is very similar. The whole layout. One thing this doesn't have is it doesn't have that jimping on it on the back of the blade, but other than that, those are quite different, or I mean quite similar. It's even got their little rays right here. And this was the early 90s, and this was in the late teens, 2016, 17, somewhere in there, the mid-teens. So there is that. This is kind of cool because you get to see how the lockback feature works on the Spyderco. You push this, there's a lot of tension. You have a spring bar right here. You push on that and it closes. You got the opening. Solid click into place, and looking at the way that locks in there, I don't think, and this does take some serious pressure, that you're going to have any type of lock failure with that. This blade has a pretty good sharpness. I'm not going to do all the cut tests and all that, but that's the knife blade that is on this tool. Now, as you can see, this separates. It's designed to separate. The next item in here, it's this slip lock style crescent wrench. Now, it does click into place. It has to be in the further open position in order to close right to fit inside the case. This does have a pocket clip on the back. There is no logo on the pocket clip, like, well, I guess on the Byrd brand you don't have it, but there is on the Spyderco one. But the pocket clip still has that same design as the Spyderco knife. It has that same curve in there this, it's just it's all, hasn't changed over the years. Same curves, just different style here. So you do have the pocket clip. So anyway, so this will open up. It'll open up. I can measure this, but I don't. You know, it's whatever you can fit in there. You're not going to go much more than an inch or 2.5 centimeters, I don't think, and that's on the wide one. And then on the smaller one, you have a little bit of grip in there, but again, you're pretty much limited to that 1 inch. But you do have that adjustability on that. Okay, so that's that. Now, the next thing that is also unique is when you open this up, now you got a full-size handle here, and this locks into place. There is a locking mechanism right here. You can see that goes in and out right inside there. That goes in and out. When that opens, that kind of clicks into place there, holding that in place and making yourself a full-sized handled style tool, which leads us to this end, which has a crescent wrench, adjustable crescent wrench here. This is a file, we'll look at that in a moment, and this will open up to right about the edge there. Now you can slide this all the way out if you need to. I don't know why you would need to, but the furthest out you're going to go on this is about, nope, see, that's too far. Right there is the furthest you're going to go, and that is 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeters. And you're going to want to make sure, you know, like with all crescent wrenches, that you use this solid piece for your main torquing and not this piece over here. So that's your crescent wrench. So you got a nice adjustable style crescent wrench, which I keep in the closed position because you have to, when this closes up, it needs to be in the closed position. So next up, you have this file. Now, the file has a flat side to it. It's designed kind of to keep these bits in, but it will slide into this hole right here if you need a spot where you can kind of get a little bit more grip on it. You can also set it in the end here, although I don't believe it's designed to go in that end. It's magnetic, so it won't fall out, but it does wiggle. It probably would have been cool if they would have made this some sort of, so it would stick in there. And it will also go into this portion right here. You, of course, would need to close it. But, so that's your file. Now, once you take the file out, you can take out one of these bits. Now, these are full-size bits. This is a number 2 Phillips head. You know, and this is, I want to say, about the same size as what's on a Swiss Army knife. It's pretty close. The Swiss Army knife one is dull, or flat on the point, not as pointy. And Butterfingers here. So that's kind of a look at those. And like I said, this hole in here in the end is magnetic, but you got a full grip style screwdriver. That hex bit fits in there nice. Like I said, it's magnetic. It's not going to fall out. It's in there. So you got a nice grip right there. You're able to adjust, turn your screws and whatnot. So that, like I said, says on here that it is a number 2 Phillips. And then that's the smaller of the 2 Phillips. There's 2 Phillips in here. The other one is a number 3. And that one is quite a bit bigger than what you would get on a Swiss Army knife. For comparison purposes, head is much bigger on that. So that's your standard, your 2 Phillips screwdriver bits. And then next up, and I like to put them in so the number's facing the same direction. That way you can slide them out and they look. So next up is the standard slotted screw. And this is it says slotted number 2, slotted 5. So this, and the size on that is about 3/16 or, yeah, 3/16, or on the centimeter side of it, 1/2 centimeter. Is that right? Oh, those are millimeters. Anyway, so that's the size on that. And again, they're all magnetic, so they fit in there quite well. And then the final screwdriver bit, and this other one is a lot bigger. I want to say this one looks like it's about 1/4 inch across. This one is a number 7, it says, and it appears to be about 1/4 inch across. So it's a full size screwdriver, and you got a full size tool to work with for a compact multi-tool. So that's kind of, I like this thing. It's cool. I don't carry it as often as sometimes I'm like, man, I really wish I had that with me, because you have a lot of options. Now, one thing that I was going to say in here, like I said, in this final item here, is the file. I don't know, it seems pretty coarse. You might be able to use it for sharpening. It does have a smooth side over here, and it is put in with a spring, and it has a slot it fits in, and there's actually on the inside of this right here is a piece where it clicks into that. So when you close this, you'll hear it click into place, and that clicks right in there. So that's pretty unique. Now, one thing I was going to say that's kind of cool on this, you get this open. I like to carry around my bit set with me. So you're not just, with this tool, you are not just limited to these bits. You can, any hex style bit will go in there just fine. And so you can have this tool and a small bit set, and you have a lot of options of what you can do. This particular DeWalt bit set has different Allen wrench styles, T-bits, square bits, and there's multiple different ones in here, and as you saw, a couple of sockets, and there's even somewhat of an extender. If this is too wide to get in there, you got the extender that works in that, which my extender, the bits for the actual, there we go. So that doesn't stay in. It's probably too heavy for the magnet, but you do have an extender in there. But so you have more options with that. So anyway, that's a look at this, and that just gives you more options. So that's a look at this Spyderco. I think it was called the Byrd wrench. It might be called the Spyder wrench. Like I said, it's been discontinued for quite some time. I don't know why. I think it's patented. No one, I don't know of anyone that makes anything like this anymore. And you don't see this very often. I think I've seen a reviewer maybe look at this one time. So I thought it was interesting, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. Thanks for watching. We do have a lot of fun stuff coming up on the channel here next month in November. We're going to be doing some traveling, and we will have a lot of video to share with you guys. We're exploring it all. That's what it's all about. We want to explore it all. We're not just going to do knife reviews and unboxings. We're going to be outside. We're going to do some traveling and looking at all kinds of different things, and it'll be fun to bring you guys along. So we really appreciate you guys watching us, and there's a lot of choices out there. So give us a like and a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. And remember, guys, just be nice to each other.